Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. If you're watching on a replay, make sure you say hello over there on YouTube. We are now live on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at VeeFriends Comics. That's where you'll find us making a lot of stuff. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. This is the morning stream. It's not a mega stream today. And then later today, I believe, whoops, let's get rid of that. Later today, at 2 p.m., it'll actually be Corso and Ali here over on Whatnot. And then the rest of the week, you'll see me Wednesday through Friday. So this is a VeeFriends drawing stream. VeeFriends is over 250 characters created by Gary Vaynerchuk. You might know him as Gary V, hence the name V and VeeFriends. We've got cartoons. We've got a highly collectible trading card game. Look that up. VeeFriends on eBay. You'll see a lot of stuff from that. And we've got these VeeFriends minis, which are mini topper pencil toppers. I'm going to open my pencil topper for the day. Rob, hey man, on Instagram. Thanks for joining and watching. Just getting started here. Be live for about 90 minutes or so. The first pencil topper of the day is going to be a Emerald. Be the bigger person. This is kind of the same character here. Be the bigger person. Got a little stormy cloud. You see here, there's some rarities. I'm always looking for we got the Emerald, pretty basic. I'm looking for the detailed ones like that. And I'm going to be drawing some comics here. So, good morning, Alana. Good morning, Craig. Coffee is flowing. I'm DJ, the director of comics here at VeeFriends, cartoonist of some of the comics, writing the comics, doing the comics, all the comics. Comics. As always, we've got the comic books coming out soon. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Coffee's pretty good this morning. Great. And what are we drawing today? Let's take a look at yesterday's Sunday comic. Featured Flexing Fox, who's the character that can't pay, he's always flexing with all kinds of stuff, but he's not good with his money, so he often runs out of money. So breaking news, Flexing Fox is broke again. Help, I can't pay my bills. Breaking news. Cynical Cat says, I bet he's buying dumb stuff again. No, I'm not. Curious Crane says, let's take a look and find out. So that was the crux of this Sunday's comic. I didn't get a chance to take the screenshots and put them in here, but I like it when people take pictures of the the newspaper. If you're out there getting it, Alana takes a picture every week. Newspaper so far, so that's cool. So we got Curious Crane saying, hey, you stopped buying $55 bagel delivery and limited your streaming services, right? Sticking to the budget? Yep. I'm living in the now, sticking to the plan. We have in here like Scan to Read, a back issue comic, which would take you to the first time we saw Fox in the archive buying $55 bagels. Cynical Cat is very cynical. He highly doubts that's true. Curious Crane brings in Hustling Hamster. Can maybe help you earn some fast cash. So let's try selling some stuff you have lying around your house. And it's stuff that, if you've been following the comics, it's stuff that, he bought that he didn't need, like those Apple Vision Pro. cards and he collects things of himself. He's like, sell stuff? Like my stuff? Is that a golden statue of yourself? Maybe. Is that real gold? Fox, you could sell this to cover some of your bills. No, I can't sell that. That's a limited edition collectible. If you don't know, VeeFriends, they actually made a golden fox. So this was like my inspiration for this crazy comic, was this golden fox. It's ridiculous. Golden fox. But why do you have so many? So he's got a lot of them. He's got a closet full of himself in gold. Because of course he was probably, trying to just collect everything. No newspaper in California. I should probably keep the links up, but keep a link handy for you in a minute. So then the headline is Save for Your Future or Live in the Now. You can do both. Stop buying junk you can't afford. Did you really need that? Cynical Cat is tired of your junk. And then this little line comes from my wife. She's like, I think he should be saying, I deserve a little treat. Because that's also the spin of flexing foxes, that you should treat yourself from time to time. Just be very mindful of your money. And then we got Practical Peacock here, just giving some practical tips. Save 20% of the money you make. For anything new you buy, sell or donate 2 old things. And check your budget weekly. Check on your budget weekly. And then at the end of the strip here we have, hey, scan to watch us here live. So when people scan this, they come to the YouTube channel, and that was yesterday's Sunday comic strip. And now it's Monday. Good morning, Alex, Roach, Scott, Golden Fox. Jeez, yeah. I thought it was pretty ridiculous too. The first time I saw the Golden Fox, I was like, what is that all about? But I understand it differently now. At least I see it as the symbol of either celebrating yourself, like self-confidence, or the excess of, narcissism / trying to be flashy, But maybe that's why he's collecting all of these for himself. It's because he wants to have them for himself, because he doesn't want. Maybe he's maybe he's a little bit embarrassed now that there's these statues of himself out there. I don't know. We'll have to ask him in a future episode. So anyways, I've been working on this one. This is a brand new one. I should probably just honestly stick to the coloring on this. I don't know if I have yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do today, because that's basically what's on my to-do list for today. So I think we're gonna block this off, block off the last panel, and we'll get to some coloring on this one. So basically what you're doing is you're just joining in on my work day, work schedule. If you're new to the stream, hit us up, email us new comics@VeeFriends.com. If you're new or just want to drop a line to us, we read all of your mail. So I could let's bang out some coloring on this one, just because it's on my plate for today to do this. So I'm gonna get in here and try to crush this out so I could send the final to Gary today. That would be ideal. All right. Set this to reference. I did a mega stream on Friday, 4 hours. Maybe I'll do another one again, but not I don't know. It just depends on how I'm feeling. Usually it's about 90 minutes of a stream. I could also stop and maybe draw some other things, but for the person asking in the chat, it is, let's just type it in. Do I have it typed in here? I don't. Okay. Newspapers are available at, let's type this in, add text, lee.net/markets. Change the color to white. Would be good. They're in all Lee newspapers. They're the second largest the second largest newspaper provider in the country. So let's actually go to lee.net. Later today, I guess it's either going to be Corso and Ali or myself and Ali over on Whatnot. We'll figure it out. It said Ali and Corso for a week, so people might be expecting them. Let's see. Okay, lee.net/markets will bring you up a nice little map with different states. Each one of these papers as well has an online edition, so the comic also comes out on the online edition of the different states that we're in. So if you're looking to get it just the Sunday, the regular comics come out over on Instagram, instagram.com. We post them on Instagram. A new one should be coming here soon. Over there and follow the daily comics. Ali Castro and Chris Faison are working on the dailies as I work on the Sunday, and we're really covering all the bases. We've got comic strips, we got comic books coming, and the Sunday comics in the newspapers. So that's that, and then you can always go to VeeFriends.com, VeeFriends.com. Go to the comics tab here, and we can see the new comics for today. Actually, I don't know why that's giving you a sneak peek of what's to come, I guess. I don't know. Well, if you want to jump into the future and see the comics that are coming out on the 12th, you can do that. I don't know why that is. Let's check that. Oh, I forgot my live chat on TikTok. Chris Chan, what's up? See, I'm doing I'll just show you real quick. I've got my Instagram chat, my TikTok chat, my OBS. Way over there is my YouTube, X, Facebook people. And there we go. So this will be an upcoming comic strip that I'm working on right now. I'm just going to do some coloring real fast with these guys as we're chatting here. Hey, cool. Mr. Messer and I subscribe to Soggy's Weekly Comic Grab. It's the one thing we refuse not to have everyone in our vault. So excited for you and the team. Awesome. It's great that he's doing that. For those that don't know, Soggy Waffles over on X has a little subscription. He's been buying a couple of extra papers for people to get the it's really crazy. I was just talking to some other cartoonists and they're like, they're what? They're buying the Sunday comics and like collecting them, and I'm like, yeah. It's the VeeFriends community. VeeFriends is like got a really hardcore base of fans and collectors that have been collecting for a few years now. So, the casual person doesn't usually collect that stuff, but this is the first time that VeeFriends is out there in newspapers, and a lot of firsts happening for VeeFriends lately. So people are collecting that in different ways. We saw someone sold a copy of the Sunday newspaper, or there's just the comic section, for like $25 on Whatnot last night, and then eBay sold for $30 a pop. So if you're in the market for hustling newspaper strips, do it. We know this is internally. We know this is bare minimum Bob, so he's got some yellow teeth. It's gross. He's bare minimum Bob, so he doesn't brush his teeth as often as he should. Oh man. Thanks for checking in. Happy Monday morning to everybody. Hope everyone had a great little weekend. I did. I haven't been working as much on the weekends as I have in the past. I've been enjoying my Saturdays a little bit more. I also run the drawing club thing that I run, and been neglecting that a little bit, so I've been putting a little more planning into that too. So for those in the drawing club that I do have people in the drawing club that watch my streams, and I've been kind of absent from that. I don't make as much content as I used to for that thing, and it's not that I don't want to do it. It's I'm pretty busy, and I'm feeling, when I work, I'd like to work on VeeFriends stuff. So we got the daily drawing club that comes out, but it's pretty much on autopilot right now. I need to get back to doing a little bit extra stuff for that. But I appreciate the artists that are in that watching me, and it's good. It's good for artists, but I don't really plug it or talk about it too much, because it's, like I said, it's bare minimum right now. It's the bare minimum of the drawing club. But we got a lot of stuff going on with VeeFriends, and my focus has been on VeeFriends for now and into the foreseeable future. So we've got comics and animation stuff in the works, and all kinds of stuff. Morning D. Coleman. But most of the streams now, on these morning streams, will be me working on the Sunday comics. So you might get to see a little bit ahead. So this one's going to feature the Black Cat. And it's kind of about that thing we talk about internally, about the labels we put on stuff. When you see a black cat, you might think it's bad luck. But it's all on how you choose to see it. Really. But pretty excited about lots of things behind the scenes. I can't show you right now, but I will in the future. This Sunday comic was one of them. Was one of the things I couldn't talk about for a long time, and now here it is. We're working on it. That deal was in the works for quite a while. We had back and forth talks for a while, and it finally materialized really quickly. So we've got a lot of things like that happening behind the scenes that you don't get to see, or we can't really talk about. Just because sometimes things don't work out. Sometimes things don't happen. We don't want to tell you something's coming and then, have it evaporate. It's not great. But if you're new to VeeFriends, hanging out here, make sure you hit us up, comics@VeeFriends.com. Email us. We may send you something, or, just say hello. Say hello here in the chat. Thanks for hanging out a little bit. What else is going on? I got approved for the National Cartoonist Society. That's like a club for professional cartoonists. I've not joined it in the past. I've always wanted to, but I never did sign up for it. And they've got some, it's just nice to kind of see the state of cartooning and the professional side of it. Kind of a community of artists there. And also there's a lot of artists that, are, well, I was just having lunch with one Saturday. He was saying how he feels really out of the loop, like a different generation. He's 62, and he was like, I don't know how you young guys make a living doing your comics online or, social presence stuff. And it's a lot to take in from traditional ways. The internet really changed a lot of how things work, for everyone. So, but I was always out there, hustling in it. Like I knew I could see the future and of how it was going to work, and I was always the one that was, hey, why don't we try this? Why don't we put comics on a WordPress? Why don't we? I was always trying to innovate with comics. So it's really fun to bring all those years of trying things to VeeFriends. Really. And it's really funny to hear the different levels of effort. Where did my chat go? Uh-oh. I don't know much about your VF journey. I want to hear all the things. Thanks for popping in there. Morning, Jonathan. Dr. Becky Kennedy's live? I don't know who that is. Is there an email subscription that gets us the comics sent to us? That's a good point. We've talked about doing that, and I think we got to do it. I've now heard about it enough that that's probably something that we're going to build into Q2 here. Because a lot of people, honestly, it's hard to keep up on social, and social doesn't always send you, what's up. So I think that makes a lot of sense, like building out a little newsletter for just the comics. Who would want that besides Jamie? We've actually talked about it. We just usually post to VeeFriends.com and the social media accounts, but especially with the new comic books coming out too, I think that's probably something. Like maybe if we drop half an issue or something like that and let you read it first if you're on the list. Because a lot of people collect a lot of different things in VeeFriends world. So we've got the people that just collect the trading cards. They don't really care about the comics. There's people that collect all. And then there's people that are just all about Web3 and don't really care about the merch or the comics or stories and stuff like that. There's people that just kind of collect what they want. So having a list that was dedicated just to comics might be kind of fun. Yeah, and making it cool too, not just like like making it fun every week or something. But you know, right now the comics come out Monday, Wednesday, Friday on the socials. They're kind of one and done kind of things. And then, but yeah, I got to do some planning with Corso and make sure that we're aligned across the brand. We don't want to just launch our own, launch our own newsletter. But I've had enough people asking me if there was a way to subscribe to get the comics for free. And maybe, the Sunday comics, no, because we've got a deal with, we have a collaboration with Lee newspapers. So, I'm pushing people to go read those comics, the Sunday comic like I'm drawing now at Lee, or on these streams. I'm going to walk you through like I did earlier with the other comic. But would you know if I can get the trading cards in Australia? The new ones, the Topps Chrome, I'm not sure if they'll be distributed directly in Australia or not. I'm not the person to ask. Maybe Corso could find out if he's hanging around later. I know they're in Australia because, you got Craig's over on the YouTube chat. Craig's in Australia. It takes forever to get things over there, but Craig has quite a collection of VeeFriends trading cards and all that. I keep shutting my door and the cat keeps opening it. It's great. I found a way to cook breakfast now watching live streams. Let's see, back now. Switched over to Dr. Becky Kennedy live stream. She wrote book, good inside, check it out. Okay, cool. Thanks for watching. Most valuable cheerleader over on Instagram. Yeah, what I'm working on right here, right now, is the just a little bit of coloring. I might jump around this stream. We got some time. I didn't do a warm up or anything like that. I just went right into work, really, work mode, deadlines and all. So, I do. Usually the comics for the following week. Like for this weekend's comic, I gotta have it uploaded and reviewed by Wednesday, which is plenty of time, and I'm working on a couple more in advance, but I'd like to get, ideally 3 or 4 weeks ahead on the comic strips in the next, 2 weeks or so. That's the goal, and kind of say that out loud and keep it, make it saying it out loud right now to hold myself accountable. So I might have to minimize my other meeting times that are not critical meetings to really lock in and get some stuff done. Sometimes I'll, if I'm feeling it, I'm getting excited, I'll show you sneak peeks of stuff, but I've been doing so many sneak peeks that I'm just kind of dialing it back right now. We're just gonna patiently wait for some of the comic book stuff to happen. Should come really fast, though. When it starts coming, it'll be like we'll have a lot of content to share, and those are other things I've been thinking about too. Is it's a lot of work doing the comics for myself, Ali, and Chris Faison, the comics team here at VeeFriends. But we it's a balance of how do we make more content, have extra people to make content based on the things that we're doing. We've got some people doing some stream clipping and stuff like that now, because there's a treasure trove of things from these streams that we have. But I can't shake the feeling that I feel like, I'm probably going to try to do some more type of content, behind the scenes content. I've had some people ask for like how to draw content, or like, how to draw a character sort of content, but it's not my forte really, but I'm thinking about trying it. Like, here's how to draw a patient panda or something like that. But I'm not sure what brings the value. I don't know that that's why you're watching these streams. Which I like to ask people a lot, like what makes you hang? What makes you stay in the stream? What are you here for? Just to kind of figure that out as we go. Don't like that. So we need a little shadow. Just about to hire a content editor. Gary's brand, his message is what keeps you. Yeah, so yeah, exactly. Like we're definitely Kubia continue to illustrate comics and characters and books. We got a mix of people on these streams. We got some artists that hang out. Tweeter's often in here. He's a cartoonist that has been making some like VeeFriends type content too, that for fun. But of course we have Gary, Gary people that follow Gary. I'm one of them too, one of you. And really, I don't know, how would you describe Gary's content to me? I mean, I know we talk entrepreneur and stuff like that, but to me, I think like Gary really started the passion economy, meaning that he was really one of the first people to start talking about how your passion, whether it was, or your topic, let's say, not necessarily your passion, but kind of evolved into passion, but that any topic that you're passionate about could be turned into a personal, brand, like Wine Library TV, or if you like hockey, you can launch a podcast about anything. And for me, it was, comics, like, and speaking to artists and comic book people. He does change lives. Most valuable cheerleader says he changes lives. He's inspirational. He is real. We don't like to say, I don't think we say like self-help stuff, but it is kind of the self-help category, in an interesting way. He's not like a Tony Robbins, but in that realm of people that definitely has content that hits hard like that can really wake you up. Value driven and about ethics and morality. Yeah. And that's what we're doing at, that's why we're here at VeeFriends, really, to kind of amplify that. Happiness, really. Like, we want to see more people happy, because there's so much unhappiness or fake happiness. People think they're happy, but we really want people to pursue their happiness. You don't have to be busy. You don't have to be hustling and grinding and all that. That's not for everybody. It happens to be for me, because that's part of the job that I signed up for a long time ago with comics. Artists, we draw till we're dead. There's something romantic about that, for entrepreneurs have a million ideas, comic artists have a million ideas. You know, it's almost like an ADHD of, you know, it's hard to focus on one, zoom in on one idea. So being a cartoonist is very much like you gotta get some self-discipline, but it's like that with any topic, right? Like, so many people think about what they're gonna do and they don't go do it. Yeah, there was and for artists, there's no real safety net. You know, I mean, you can have a day job, of course, that's good. Of course, I don't know what I said. If you were answering me or not. I'm trying to read these different chats I pinned. Yeah, and you know, some things that you might like right now, or that you thought you liked, it's okay to change your mind too. It's okay to say, you know what, I'm not feeling this anymore. People might not know it, but like for whatever reason, there was a time in my life that I actually stopped making comics for like 2 years. I still did art, and I had a day job where I did a lot of artwork for YouTubers. So I did a lot of like shirt designs for like YouTubers like PewDiePie and stuff like that at my old job. But I quit comics because I was just like, wow, it was so negative. Like the fans were negative, like comic books. The creators were very petty with each other. It was almost like jealous of each other and stuff like that, and like a lot of fighting and drama, and I just couldn't do it, and I failed. You know, I failed. Some of my projects didn't do well, or the publishers I worked with went under, you know, and I felt like embarrassed, like I felt like a failure, like, and also it felt like this is not, at the time I felt like this is not a good choice for a career. Like, this was foolish of me. So I need to put away these foolish things and go back to whatever. So, and it wasn't until I think I was like first dating my wife, my now wife, and I was explaining how how bad. Like, she's like, "Why you were in comics? That's super cool. Like, why don't you draw more comics?" And I was like, it's a crapshoot. It's not. There's no one making money in comic books, you know, that kind of thing. It's all smoke and mirrors, really, in that world, a lot of times. And then she said something to me like, "Hey, you know, why aren't you down there drawing? Like, there's people that would, you know, you're taking it for granted, this skill that you have to do this. You can draw literally almost anything that you can think of. Well, that's a waste to just sit here and not use that." And I was like, you know what, she's right. So she's right about a lot of stuff. And I dipped back into it. That was probably 2014 or something like that. 2014, 2015. And then tried, you know, dipped a little bit back into comic books again. And I was like, yep, it's still the same. It's still kind of this weird little industry, the comic book industry. Yeah, arts can be competitive in not a nice way. I run from that. And like I said, I just joined the National Cartoonist Society, so I'm excited about that. A lot of people told me like not to join it, but they're like bitter, you know, like they're cynical people too. Like, that were telling me that, like, oh, it's not worth it. Nothing good ever happens there. They're just a bunch of old blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. I like the history and the history and the camaraderie of, you know, I feel like artists need to stick together. I've always felt like that. So, you know, I avoid the drama and I just try to support artists and cartoonists as much as possible. So if I have some sort of value to give, I try to share as much as I know, because I feel like artists also tend to think that there's limited, everything's limited. And I don't think so. I think it's pretty abundant. So you might as well share what you know. And also be candid with each other artist-wise, because so many artists, even watching these streams and things, like I get this job at VeeFriends, and then there's been multiple artists that reach out saying, hey, is VeeFriends hiring? And hey, can I get your job? Like, and it just doesn't, like, that's not that's not the way to do things. Like, I'd say go build your own thing. You're definitely not going to get attention from any publisher if you're not out there building your own thing. If I Google you and I look you up and you haven't posted anything in forever, and you can't show that you're capable of producing on the level of things, like, I don't know. This is any publisher that would do this, any editor. There's also an element of networking in the whole thing, like comics. You got to kind of be in the room where it happens. You got to go to those conventions. You got to invest, and it takes money to do that. It takes time and money. Your portfolio needs to be there, but your portfolio can't just be a portfolio either. There's so many people that are like, look at my samples, and it's like, yeah, but what is this? This isn't a real story, or that's why I'm like, if you want to draw comics, go draw comics. If you want to make children's books, go make children's books. Just make your own before you're there. When I say make your own, I mean make your own. Make your own, like the stuff that you own, Oh, I just realized that does that. It's something new. I never knew that. Look at that. I learned that live. You just pinch that and zoom that. Pretty sweet. I'm trying to get like a really bright yellow. That's probably good. Really bright yellow. I forget what I was saying. Hey, new comic strip is live. Let's go check that out. Corso's in the chat. Yeah. I pulled up the... We'll go over on Instagram here in a second. I'll show you what I mean. I had a habit of starting things and not really finishing them, or getting bored with them and like not finishing them, I guess. That happens to a lot of artists. Let's go to Instagram. Of course, though, we need to ask, if you're listening, we need to ask Eric or Cam about the archive and why, if we schedule something for March 12th, it goes live beforehand on the archive. Is that something that's... Let's check the new comic on the VeeFriends. Go follow us at VeeFriends Comics on Instagram. You can leave for a second. Come on back to this stream. VeeFriends Comics on Instagram. New comic strip is up right here. Got a kid. Need a hand? Well, a trunk. I just keep messing it up. This kid looks all bummed. Looks like he's tying his shoes. Learning something new could be tricky, huh? Yeah, I feel kind of dumb. Do you guys remember when you were a kid and trying to tie your shoes for the first time? I do. And it was frustrating. Don't be so hard on yourself. You never call a friend dumb for learning, right? No. I did it. See, a little patience and a little kindness towards yourself goes a long way. Good cartooning here from Chris Faison. You're seeing his art, by the way, over on the... I don't know if I can go to Twitter on this. Let's see if I can go to Twitter. Boy. comics, whatever. Am I logged in? I'm not. I don't want to mess with this. Never mind. Anyways, you're seeing his art a lot on the manga set, the manga speckle set for Topps Chrome. Is Chris's art. So go like that comic strip over there and get ready for Topps Chrome coming out in early May. I also have some cards in that set, but I'm not showing them until we're closer to the date. Let's make this purple. There we go. And we got Perspective Pigeon here. Did I put him in my... There he is. The reason I like to pull these over is just so I get the coloring a little bit right for Perspective Pigeon. Another thing that you don't know that I know is that since this is going to be in newspapers, I need to do some color adjustment. And I've gotten pretty good at this, so I want to tone it down just a little notch, about like that. Just a notch. And then, because the oversaturation will make it too dark in the newspapers, when the ink bleeds into the paper and stuff like that, it's just not great. So you want to fix that. So, and then he's also got. I'm gonna pencil these in. Well, it changes a little bit at times, but we're gonna grab this turquoise color. That looks pretty good. All right, good. I'm gonna just draw it in. That's where it changes. It's a little trickier than just drag and drop the colors on this one. So, Perspective Pigeon is the name of the character. Yeah, you know, Kubia Cody said learning art is the most addictive thing to me. Same. I mean, I'm 49 and I'm still like, if I get like, you know what, I'm gonna grab some coffee and sit down and look at a tutorial or grab an old book that I haven't picked up in a while, like for art. I do that all the time. You know, start here with the center of his. There we go. Oh, I'm messing this up. Brush size is too high. Oh no. Okay, bring that back. We'll get it. It's a little tricky. I just want to get his patterns right. His gray is good for his wings. Change this up. There has to be a different type of contrast too between the grays on his wings. We'll get that as well. It's pretty much just 2 layers of these. Dark gray on his wings. Hey, thanks for tuning in, most valuable cheerleader. Thanks. What's my name? My name is DJ. I am the director of comics here at VeeFriends. So thanks for tuning in. See you soon. I'm staying here. I'm just saying goodbye to most valuable cheerleader. Who's leaving. Thanks for watching for a little bit. I am staying right here. Actually, you know what? let's take a little mini break and reset the stream. If you're new to VeeFriends, make sure you're hitting us up. Email us at comics@VeeFriends.com. I'm going to grab these blue. Blue versus orange. This is for me to open up the pencil toppers. Say blue versus orange in the chat. Blue versus orange in the chat. And if you're new to VeeFriends and just finding us for the first time, or if you want to drop a line, comics@VeeFriends.com. If you have something on your mind, questions about whatever, ask us. You see here, these are this is a season 3 mini, and this is a season 2. It's on here somewhere. Well, it's really hard to read, but it's on there. We got blue. Anyone else? Anyone else? Blue versus orange in the chat. Blue? Yeah, blue it is. Let's go. Let's open up blue. I'm looking for the detailed minis. Like our thoughtful 3-horn harpic here. Looking for those guys. We got a bubblegum accountable ant. Smells like bubblegum. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Of course so. We're all good. Bubblegum accountable ant. I like that I can get really close to the camera now. Like we can just get really close to the camera. Whoa. Bubblegum accountable ant. This is the VeeFriends Making Comics stream. We'll also be live today on 2 p.m. on Whatnot. I think Ali and Corso are going to take that over. It's been back and forth. Someone will be on live on 2 p.m. or Whatnot. VeeFriends is over 250 characters created by Gary Vaynerchuk. We make soft skills cool, soft and hard skills really, but soft skills like accountability, patience, kindness, gratitude. Created by Gary Vaynerchuk. You might know him on the internet as Gary V. I'm talking to so many people lately who have no idea who Gary is. But V is VeeFriends. VeeFriends cartoons on YouTube Kids. Season 1, 20 episodes is on YouTube Kids. Great for all ages, or kids 10 and under probably. We've got the collectible trading card game, and Topps Chrome coming out soon. I should probably get a little Topps Chrome graphic here. These VeeFriends minis you just saw, they're vending machines. If you're interested in there, I'm not going to put a link on here. Just go like VeeFriends vending, you'll find the link. And we've got a comic book coming out soon. You'll be able to read this for free online, but also there's 555 exclusive print copies. Building the world of VeeFriends really for the first time. VeeFriends are real, and they're helping people, and they're also escaping volcanoes and such. Burn Island there. They're all freaking out while Balance Beetle's just chilling. Okay? This is coming out soon. You'll be able to read that for free online. Lots of great comics in the works. We have a lot of fun stuff coming up. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And then my schedule for the week as well. Be back here on Wednesday, Thursday. I'm still hanging here. I got another little bit of time here. Email us, comics@VeeFriends.com. Clem, how's it going? Just stopping by to say hi. Have a great day, Clem. Clem House Art, clem.house.art on Instagram. What's up? Like when the art friends pop in, say hello, then they're on their way. Little check-in. We're coloring up our perspective pigeon about changing your perspective in life. It's a very interesting, underrated. All the characters are really underrated. Let's be real. You know, we're gonna give them that nice, rich mustard yellow. Mustard. Dark beak. I always forget that Perspective Pigeon's beak is the dark gray. I don't know why I forget that. You know, most beaks are, you know, yellow or pink or something like that. And then I always look at the eye color too. I'm a stickler for that. Lighten that up a little bit. We'll get in here. Talk about changing your perspective a little bit in life. In this case, these characters here are freaking out because they're seeing a black cat. And so Perspective Pigeon is like, yo, it's just a cat, or it's our lucky, you know, it could be a lucky black cat, depending on how you look at it. You know. And it takes a little bit of empathy, a little bit of understanding where people are coming from to actually change your perspective. So I think empathy is the first thing, and then your perspective can change, you know, quite a bit over time. I don't like to talk about, you know, politics or anything like that, but I live south of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, southwestern Pennsylvania, and it used to be very blue collar. It still is a very blue collar area here, but you know, there's a lot of people that felt forgotten, you know, so kind of just forgotten people. Their plants closed and moved away, and they don't trust a lot of things. They don't trust each other. They don't trust corporations. They usually don't trust politicians either, you know. But it took me a long time to figure that out, to kind of like talk to people and realize, oh, this is where all of their pain is coming from, you know. Even my dad, you know, he was a old auto factory worker, you know, Volkswagen, and he changed. He got old. He used to be very blue collar and very voted a certain way, and then he changed because of all the, you know, broken trust and things that happened. I didn't agree, but I understand. Like, I understand, you know, all people really want around here specifically is a little job security, and they want people to stick to their word, and it's hard to change your perspective after somebody's broken your trust, right? So there's always that, but you can, instead of being angry with each other, you can you know, talk to each other, try to listen, just try to listen through the noise, you know, talk with each other and not at each other, that kind of thing, you know. It's hard. It's easy, but it's hard. You know, it can be a hard thing to do sometimes, to like let go of your pain and just listen to someone else, you know, from their perspective. That's empathy too. If you're feeling, like, you start to feel what they are going through, you know. Is there a way to use the YouTube app while watching? Then swiping out did work, but only to get to my phone's home screen. I'm not sure. Let me look what you're saying here. I think on my think on the YouTube app, if I swipe away or I open up something else, I get a little mini player that happens on my iPhone. I'm almost positive. Perspective Pigeon and Perceptive Puma became a winning lesson plan I made for your class years back. Yeah, that's interesting. Like, we talk about this a lot behind the scenes, but we haven't done enough yet. Like, we're just getting started really with VeeFriends, but there's so many characters that play off each other, and we don't even often think about it too much as we should. But Gary's got it, on lock. Like, when we talk with Gary, it's like these characters are what plays off each other, because you got to have this for that, and like there's recipe. It's like a recipe. It's like the characters can come together. This character is needed for this to tell this type of story, kind of thing. And there are key characters that kind of tie things together, and Perspective Pigeon is actually one of those types of characters who's always kind of around, let's say, somewhere in the background, kind of to say like, yeah, but what if, what if you changed your mind? I like that purple behind that. I'm just going to do that. But what if we looked at it this way? Does your feelings change? That kind of thing. I've had good conversations like that, where you hear a different point of view and you go, wow, I never really thought about it like that. That's changing your perspective. You can still not agree. You could be like, well, I never thought about it like that, but I still think that's like healthy debate, Not like you're wrong and I'm right, and nothing ever good comes from that. You gotta evolve a little bit. Let's see your comments here. Okay. I think if you're YouTube Premium, it allows a bit more. I don't know. I'm not YouTube Premium, and I think it does let me pop out. I have the little pop-out player. At least on mobile, it does it for me. I can't really demonstrate it. Hopefully find a happy medium for watching the stream. But appreciate you hanging out. Everybody here watching in. We're doing a lot of things. A lot of comics. Gotta let my dog out of this room. I'm excited. The weather's getting nice. The warm weather's coming. This is definitely my year for... I want to get out there. I want to walk more. Just want to be out in nature a lot more this year. I totally jumped. My dog totally wiped my brain when I was talking about. We're doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes at VeeFriends, and I'm excited. We're having a comic summit soon where we're going to work on, well, the future of comics and storytelling for VeeFriends. In a lot of ways, the comics are just, the starting point for story. But, you can imagine where that's going to go. Next logical step is animation. I selfishly want a live action. I would like a live action VeeFriends, and I would also like a video game, like an in-depth video game, not just like a mobile game or something. I mean, you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean soon. This is fun. I think I'm gonna just continue to focus here on this top bar. I'm gonna play with this a little bit. This VeeFriends logo. I'm gonna go behind it, and I'm gonna take a much darker green. A little bit like Kelly green. And I'm just gonna maybe draw the actual shadow back there. I know that there's people that say, DJ, you could just use a font. And I say to those people, mind your own business. No. I say, I think there's some kind of feeling of doing it yourself that makes it more organic and less reproducible. It feels unique. It has some character to it. And it's also fun to do this way. So I just leave me alone. No. See, it starts to look pretty neat. And you don't want to forget how to do this. You know, you don't want to forget how to do 3D drawing yourself by hand. Because you might not always have a computer to do these drop shadows for you, or you know, fonts start to look boring over time. Let's be real. You know, fonts look boring sometimes. Now, that's not to say that I do love a font. You know, I love some fonts. I'm a font freak. But your mind should also, as an artist, learn to do this stuff by hand as much as possible, because you're actually forming the, like, kind of pull that out. The three-dimensional letter, you know? And it's a different thing than just like, well, I'm going to draw a cat today. It's like, I want to learn how these forms work together. And every once in a while, there's like a nice happy accident, as Uncle Bob used to say. You'll find a nice, like this negative space here between the letters and the purple just kind of showing through. It's kind of interesting to me. And from afar, when you zoom out, I look at it and I go, okay. Because no one's going to be looking at it this close. But when it's on a newspaper, it's really going to pop. You know, that's the whole point. And shout out to the Daily Dads. I know I broadcast at the same time that they do. 8:30 or so. But we go a bit longer. But shout out to those guys. We've got quite a community at VeeFriends. If you're new, you don't have to buy anything. You don't have to. Somebody told me, like, I can't afford to be part of the VeeFriends. I don't have any money to spend. I'm like, no, it's not about that. That's cool and all. Would love it if you could collect things, but you can be a part of VeeFriends just by joining the community, just like engaging with the comics and the content, because it's really not about the merch. It's just not. I mean, we need that, of course, because keep some lights on, but you know, it's about the vibe. All right, I'm gonna try something different here. I'm gonna take my gouache brush and I just want to see if I can do a highlight. Oh, that's too big. Just to kind of show you what I'm doing. I don't know if I like that. But I can undo that. I don't like that. I think we're gonna go for more of like a street vibe with this. Go back to that color, back to my smooth train brush, and we're just gonna straight up, more like a street kind of hand lettering. Graffiti, tagging. I never did any of that, but I hung out with kids in high school who were skaters and, you know, gang members. The 594 gang. I at least hung out with the guys that were the artists, you know, the graffiti artists. I was always very, not jealous, but I was like, I was never that brave to go doing that stuff that they did. And some of those guys did some really beautiful. So that's nice. It just starts to look cool, you know? Eric, what is up? Easy does it. That's the metric for me. Does it look cool? Done. So I'm just gonna throw this little street highlights on there. Boom. You know, it just kind of happens. Your muscle memory, or like what you think, sometimes it just automatically takes over when you're working on stuff like this. So we got a little sleeping kitty. The inside of this ear needs to be black. Oh, it's not there, right? Yeah. Oh, there we go. Give it just a little bit of a highlight because it'll look cool. Again, this is going in the newspaper, so these harder little contrast lines will blend a little bit into the newspaper, but will help it like pop off and look more three-dimensional. Even here, I'll just hit like a little bit of that. I'm a little worried on its paws that the dark gray might blend too much. What is it, 9:15? Okay. I did a mega stream on Friday. I just kind of want to keep drawing again. But I try to keep the streams, morning streams, about 90 minutes. And since I have work to do. Yeah. That way I know that even if the dark gray bleeds in, I don't want it to just look like a black blob. These highlights will really pop off when the ink absorbs in the newspaper. You got to think about that. You got to think about your final destination for your art. Like, is it getting printed on glossy? You know, you got to. These are some of the technical things you got to think about that a lot of artists don't think about, and then therefore, you know, they get in a pickle when their final print comes out. You know? Mindful on the medium. Yeah. Yes, indeed. What's this little guy? What's this thing? What is that? No more. Goodbye. Little stray line. And I might even, you know, let's hit him with it. Yeah, sometimes the highlight's got to be, whoops, almost white. You know. And normally, if I weren't on the stream with you, what I'd be doing is I might take the gray here and just zap around and boom, boom. Like every time the pigeon appears, I'll just, block him in. Same thing with the white of his eyes. We'll go around. White, white, white. White, white, white. I think he's over here too, right? Yeah. We'll jump around a lot. Gets a little, you get some seasickness watching the zooming in and out and zooming in and out. And the same thing, this darker gray. We'll get in here and we know that I did it wrong there, but that's okay. Same thing, I'm just gonna draw the two levels of the gray squiggles on his wings. So we got it here, 1, 2, 3. So I kind of just try to stick to one character and jump around and get their base colors done, And then we can go back and take it panel by panel at a time to do highlights and, the finishing touches, really. Do that. Same thing, dark gray beak. Kind of want to put a highlight on this beak. Like that. Bang. Bang! Yeah, the community is really great. The VeeFriends community is really great. Just like any community, I'm sure that it won't always be great. There will sometimes be, every clubs or anything I've ever been in, occasionally there's like spats or, disagreements or whatever, but I don't really see that a whole lot, if at all, in the VeeFriends world, so that's nice. I would say keep it that way, especially if you want to have folks like Gary and I really engaging and hanging out. We kind of tend to avoid drama, so it's one of the rules. No drama, at least my rule. Like, definitely, I've got a no drama rule. As soon as things start to feel like drama, I'm out. And that could mean various things, like, we won't talk about, but gotta keep it fun, keep it, we're all kind of doing our best, I think, and hopefully with good intentions. It's hard to, someone I was talking to about like bad intentions and the character bad intentions, and they're like, you want to think that most people say, DJ, you're too trusting. And I go, well, I don't want to not be trusting. If somebody betrays my trust, it's tough. It's tough to forgive people. You can forgive them and move on, and doesn't mean you got to pal around with them again. It just means that you can let it go and get out of there. Get out of that situation. Move on. Focus on the positive instead of worrying about negative stuff. But I refuse to I don't want to be cynical and jaded and not trust everybody. But sometimes it's hard to do, to put that first foot forward of trust. Take someone at their word, I take you at your word a lot of times. I know that there's people that probably have not great intentions, or they've got agendas or something. But I don't care. I'm still going to take you at your face value and not judge you, you know. It's kind of the... Here you go, Faison says, it's okay to silently forgive someone and never talk to them again. You got that right. I've done that quite a few times, like, where I'm like, I don't even think about that person anymore. Like, they had their shot, and then they're gone, you know. But sometimes, I think a little bit of grace and a little bit of like, all right, again, trying to figure out where they were coming from. My old father-in-law used to say, I'd love to help you out, but I don't know which way you came in. I can hear him saying that. I'd love to help you out, mister, but I don't know which way you came in. I don't even know what that means, but it just sounded cool when he would say it. He would say that all the time. I kind of understand it now. A lot more. I'd love to help you out, but I don't know which way you came in. That's for people asking for things, you know, directions, whatever. Yeah, it's tricky. Today in Space says it. I used to not trust people to start, but you don't make a friendship or connections that way. It put me in a position to not accept help from others I cared about who wanted to help. You know, I'd say I have a lot of issues asking for help. I usually am a very do-it-yourself kind of person. You know, if I really was desperate and needed some kind of help, I'd ask, but I just don't get that way. You know, maybe I'm lucky. I don't put myself in a position where I'm going to be, you know, where I hate to say man up. I hate to say that. It's just that's the words that are going to come out of my mouth. But if I just got to toughen up and just, you know, okay, I guess I got to work on this now, or I got to, you know, if I put myself in that situation, have accountability to kind of fix myself, you know. I don't expect someone else to come in and fix the things that I did. You know. There's no magic wand or shortcut. Sometimes you just have to do the work. You know. But I'll tell you this, I do know that there were times in my life where I was like very salty about things that I don't even remember anymore. I was just thinking about that in the car yesterday. I was like, I went through some stuff, but I don't even remember because it's just so far gone now that, you know, when you're going through it, it seems like it's the most important thing, and then now it's like not. It's just part of getting old, I guess, going through it. All right. Restream tells me that I've received 100 messages today in the Restream chats, over 100 messages. So thanks for commenting and saying hello and goodbye and chatting it up a little bit while working on these characters here. Perspective. Pigeon. Didn't want to let people down. It's a small group and I was too binary in my experience. Yeah, I was guilty of always, not anymore, but biting off more than I could chew. You know, saying yes to everything. And when you're saying yes to, you know, what do they say when you're saying yes to everything, you're saying no to other stuff, right? Or so vice versa. So the more you learn to say no, you're saying yes to something else. And usually it's yourself. It's your own time, commitment, that kind of stuff. These highlights highlights are going to help when this is on a newspaper page. Just in case. I probably won't make the background. The background will not be that color. It'll be a different color. But these highlights will definitely help along the edges of that. And I'm learning as I go too, as I see the print, how the print of the certain newspaper stock that's used. And I think a couple of these different newspapers use a different newspaper quality stock. It's a really cheap one where the ink bleeds a lot. Sometimes the colors aren't perfect in the newspaper because of the, the saturation or probably low ink at times. Sometimes purples come out kind of bluish, so I think they're lacking a little bit of ink in their tank, let's say. It's interesting to see. It actually looks kind of cool. There's a cool effect to see something printed out in newsprint that's, you saw one way and then they're like, oh, that looks even cooler now. Maybe I should have made that blue. Sounds like wise words from Balanced Beetle. When I say things out loud like the VeeFriends are real, the more you spend time with the VeeFriends and the more you're going to learn about the characters and like what they're about. They are real. They become, you think about them and they live in your subconscious, really. Like, they're there. You would know when you're in a trying time or you're kind of feeling whatever, that you can look at something a little bit differently. Perspective Pigeon may appear in your mind to say, hey, why don't we look at it from a different angle? As somebody that works on the characters every day, the characters are very real to me. So we're going to pop these colors in here. I didn't open up enough of these minis today. I like how it says reduced interruptions on and it's staying on and interrupting me. Freak. That yellow. That crazy yellow. Okay, we're almost done here. What do I got to say for myself? Nothing. I got nothing to say for myself. Get over there to the Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at VeeFriends Comics. We'll probably be doing a lot more TikTok streams too, just randomly. And I might, I don't know. If I get a block of time on my calendar, I might just sit down and go, all right, we're live. We're live for 4 hours. Let's go. Because I'll just be crushing out work, the work doesn't stop. I probably go a little bit slower because I'm talking and looking up a lot. I can't write comics like that for sure, but it's fun to hang out with you guys and check in the mornings, see how you all are doing. I like to learn about why people are watching and why they stay, and why they come back. And a lot of people say it's the vibe, You like the vibe, chill out for a minute, get some good energy, some good flow, and then carry it out throughout your day. And then, if you encounter obstacles today, you can know that you can get through them. An argument, disagreement, a decision that you don't agree with, at work or something, you can take a deep breath and know that it probably doesn't matter. It probably doesn't matter. You know, just coloring these in a little bit here, and then I gotta get out of here. So I'll be back live on Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. I hope you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let's go to youtube.com, view channel, view your channel. See, we're live here right now. We've also got a lot of animated shorts here. Oh, I'm gonna get rid of this. We have animated shorts from the comic strips, but over here on the live tab, I've actually scheduled out quite a few upcoming streams for all the week, so you can get in here and hit notify me if you want to be notified while we go live, or hit the bell up there for any surprise streams, and make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. All of the previous morning's drawing streams are archived. You can see I've done tons and tons, hundreds of hours worth of live streams on the website here. So if you like chilling out, put it on, listen up. And if you're new to VeeFriends, hit us up at comics@VeeFriends.com and look for the newspaper in lee.net markets, but say hello there, and I'll see you guys later. I'll see you back here on Wednesday, and VeeFriends are forever. We'll see you soon.